Ever wondered what makes TV so powerful in Jamaica? Time to find out. Welcome to Global TV Group 358, where television meets innovation. We're not just about shows, we're about shaping society. In Jamaica, TV keeps you informed, connects diverse voices, and supports democracy. Imagine a Jamaica where broadcasters unite, sharing data and collaborating globally. That's us, a unified voice in the TV industry. Did you know TV advertising is still king? It drives website traffic, boosts brand equity, and powers integrated campaigns. Even in an age of digital, TV stands strong, resilient in tough times. Our global TV deck is your treasure trove of insights and data. With charts, graphs, and success stories, it's your guide to impactful TV advertising. Curious to learn more? Visit our website and see how Global TV Group 358 keeps television at the heart of entertainment in Jamaica. Get ready to binge watch the future.
Run, keep going on, less process. For children of Israel do really love rights. So just say and I say watch a man around Babylonian walls. Oh, children of Israel, I should never hold thy peace. What wrong is going on? Hey, oh, we gonna bust down Babylon walls. Prepare every the way. Prepare every the way for your people. Let's go. Fight down war and crime. Fight down war. Me say Rastafari. War and crime. And do the righteousness. And we love Jah. And we love Jah. Jah Rastafari. And we love Jah. Jah Rastafari. And we love Jah. We love Jah. Jah Rastafari. We love Jah. Jah Rastafari. We live for people. Put time away. Put time away again. Listen. Yeah. So just as I and I say watch a man around Babylonian walls. Oh, children of Israel, I should never hold thy peace, but we are penalized. Hey, oh, night. We gonna bust down Babylon gates. Prepare every the way. Prepare every the way for Jah Rastafari. Fight down war and crime. Rastafari, war and crime, and build up righteousness. And we love Jah, and we love Jah, and we love Jah, Rastafari. We love all, and we love Jah, me love Jah. Oh, thy peace, God of my salvation, because the mouth of the sinful and wicked is open. Rastafari. Man throw one stone and it break a bad feeling to all wicked men. That's a people there. Make a man throw one stone and it bring a bad feeling to all wicked men. Only when man like Marcus Garvey speak, wicked men would I hear. Hear not hear. Instead of that, they only sit aside a rub and cheat and not press them for. Make up what I seen to. Make him a throw and stone and they bring a bad feeling to all wicked men. Oh, what a plan. Make him a throw and stone and they bring a bad feeling to all wicked men. My favorite part, if Rasta make a progressive move, I sell out, I sell out Babylon. They give man show and stone, and they bring a bad feeling to all wicked men. They give man show and stone, and they bring a bad feeling to all wicked men. If Rasta make a progressive move, wicked men are red. How they want to see the dead can sell out Rasta. I sell out, I sell out Babylon. Yes, stop on the Friday. Give a show and stone, and they bring a bad feeling to all wicked men. Oh, what a black thing. Give a show and stone, and they bring a bad feeling to all wicked men. You have eyes to see, let him see. You have ears to hear, let them hear. What a prophet must say. President Mandela was in prison for 20 odd years. And he leave from the prison and take the seat of the president. Stone one. Big him and show one stone, and it bring a bad feeling to all wicked men. Oh, what a black big him and show one stone, and it bring a bad feeling to all wicked men. Rastaman show one stone, and it bring a bad feeling to all wicked men.
Good morning, good morning, good morning, and welcome. The singing soprano of our parliament and the PNP has seemed to be the baritone there in a very low, submissive tone. The Prime Minister, in a bid to dress up his trailer park, referred to his container house as modular housing. I think the Prime Minister was allowed to mislead the Parliament yesterday because they're not quite the same thing you see, PM. I mean, I understand you want to dress up your trailer park, but to dress up your trailer park, calling it modular housing, Prime Minister, they're quite not the same thing. And we are going to point out to you this morning, PM, you look like Ma Cyril. I'll tell you a story. There's a gentleman in my community, dead now, back in the days. His name was Mas Cyril, and you have another man named Mas Elik. Mas Cyril and Mas Elik was said to be Obiaman, and when you look on the mango tree, there ties up a bottle with whatever in it in the mango tree, and it is said if you go on the mango tree, your belly will swell and bust, and you can't move. They have a thing in the back called tande, where you can move over the property. Anyway, Elik was a white man, Cyril was a black man. Nobody never afraid that Elik dopey them, so we always pick Elik mango. But nobody pick Cyril mango because everybody see my Cyril as a bad Obia man, so nobody go for my Cyril mango tree. Ma Cyril, when you hear them say, when you always say a sentence, say X carrot Y, it means say X carrot Y go walk Obia. So when me say Ma Cyril, as in the president of South Africa, Ramaphosa, carrot Andrew, then you understand what I mean. So I just explain that for you, the clarity. Ma Cyril carrot Andrew. Because Andrew come back and them sound submissive. Me no know. But the Prime Minister, hey, you think Darrell Vaz alone had that breakdown yesterday? Hey, your PM went away into it yesterday. Me know so now go rub, scream, and bust this morning, but I'm going to ask you, why me always have to go through the prosecution of listen to Andrew Holness? I cannot translate Andrew Holness. When I was going to school, bullshit literally wasn't really taught there. And because the Prime Minister speak mostly in bullshit, it is hard for me to translate him. So it is for you to assist me listening to the bullshit. Me know it go rub on this morning, but somebody have to help me bear the cross if we're working as a team. To my community of part and all my family members, platform moderators, membership holders, viewers, subscribers, commenters, and trolls, good morning and welcome. In a day along with you this morning, come and have an appointment, so may I rush the program and go on and go on and go on. So, Prime Minister, I heard you yesterday in Parliament dressing up your container homes as modular homes. They're quite not the same thing, you see, PM. They are quite not the same thing. Now, a modular house, PM, is made out of whatever you would use to make your house, whether you're making a concrete house or you're making a board structure. Morning, everybody. One big good morning to all on. Oh, no, do. Like and share the live, please. A modular house, Prime Minister, is one that you use whatever material you use to make normal house, whether it be board, brick, steel, and mortar, Prime Minister. It is made in the factory. It's made up in factory, and it's assembled on site. That's your modular homes. As for container homes, Prime Minister, they're quite different. Though it is assembled in fact, it is built up in factory and assembled on site. They are not the same thing. The container home is built from container. Modular homes are built from construction material. Container home container homes, as what is on screen, Prime Minister, is purely made of purely retrofitted container. Or purpose assembled container. That's the material. They normally, Prime Minister, are for temporary housing. Whereas modular homes, Prime Minister, made from construction material, whether it be board or bricks and mortar, are permanent dwellings. So don't use this to dress up your trailer park. All right? And the PNP them turn up in a parliament and make a mislead the nation about what I would call these are modular homes. No, it's a trailer park, Prime Minister. Don't try to dress it up. Don't try to dress it up. Modular home and container home are different. There are some similarities where they're built up in the factory and assembled on site, and people live in them. That's the similarity, Prime Minister. But other than that, the whole makeup are different. Don't try brush over your trailer park. We know what a trailer park is. But it look like somebody tell you, say, no. When them a call it trailer park. So don't call, you tell me say I go buy 5 container home, you know. And when I start refer to the 5 the container home where you talk about, the Prime Minister said, you call them container home, but what I would call them is modular housing. Huh? Where? So they're containers. They're container homes. They're retrofitted and purpose built, but they're not modular homes which are built out of construction material. Whether you want to build a modular home made out of board or you want one made out of concrete, they're all built in the factory and then carry them come on site, come assembly. So don't dress up the thing and don't mislead the people them. Because now the whole of labor right, them go over TikTok a war when people say, no, they're not container homes, they're modular homes. Because when you talk the same thing there, the labor right, them run out and try to force we, to believe say so you go. And we know there are striking difference. But you turn up in our parliament and mislead the people them. People will walk and believe you say so they will top call them container home. Why when you there, why you never tell me what they say a modular home you there go buy? Why didn't you tell us that you were going to buy a modular home? Why all of a sudden we're talking about your trailer park? No, you come and talk about what I call them are modular homes. It's not what you call them, Prime Minister. It is what they are. What they are and what you call them might be very much different. Doesn't mean that we call it where you think they are. Stop misleading the people. But you look like man Cyril carry you out. When you go to South Africa, it look like man Cyril carry you out, go knock iron. You go beat man Cyril carry you go beat iron. Because the tantan bore and the rant and rave. When I go help me listen to Andrew Holness, you know, me know say hard. Yes, everything nothing in a life not easy. Nothing in a life not easy. Look at what people are going through in Jamaica now. So listening to Andrew Holness cannot be as hard as what people are going through. All I know just say la 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 la. And that's it. But let's listen to the PM. No, so we have to listen to. We can't translate bullshit. You don't have to forgive me this morning. But if me did know how to translate bullshit, me wouldn't try. Me then try if me know how to translate such and such. But me don't know how to translate them something there. Let me keep him far a little out on our face. I mean, no, don't love him up in our face.
Mobilizing development and climate resilience financing, and reinforcing Jamaica's engagement with global governance institutions
G20,
and the global South. In support of this agenda, I met with the managing director of the International Monetary Fund and the president of the World Bank, sharing Jamaica's latest damage and loss assessments and presenting the recovery and reconstruction plan to the global finance community. During the Johannesburg meeting, I held productive talks with the following leaders, among others, President Cyril Ramaphosa, the summit host, and he affirmed support for Jamaica through their own disaster fund. I met with President Emmanuel Macron of France in which we discussed deepening our cooperation and support for Jamaica's financing bid. I met with President Lula da Silva of Brazil, where we discussed possible agricultural support and support for Jamaica's relief and recovery initiatives. I met with Prime Minister Mark Carney of Canada, and I want to say here that Canada, through Prime Minister Carney, has taken a special interest in the financing of the reconstruction. It is a very technical area and an area in which we will require the support of many leaders.
Remember what Carney was the head of the Bank of England, wasn't he?
Financial institutions where they have representatives on these boards. So when you present your package, you want to have global support from international leaders so that your request, your package of support can be approved by the boards of these international financial institutions.
But so just help me bear the cross, globalists.
With the world leaders to garner support for Jamaica's bid for financing. I met with Prime Minister Narendra Modi of India, noting our cultural and historical ties. And we also discussed support for Jamaica's agricultural sector and fisheries sector. And of course, all of these countries that we have discussed, all assisted immediately as the hurricane struck. So we also expressed our thanks and gratitude to them. I met with the Vice President of Nigeria, and Nigeria committed to assist in our relief and recovery effort. And as I said, I met with Ajay Banga, and Ajay Banga is the president of the World Bank, and Kristalina Georgieva of the IMF. Interestingly as well, I had a good meeting with Tedros Ghebreyesus, the Director General of the World Health Organization. We discussed the public health situation in Jamaica as a result of the pandemic, and they have agreed to mobilize emergency resources for Jamaica. I also participated in multilateral sessions of the G20 summit, which was focused on disaster risk financing, climate transition, and debt sustainability, key areas for our CARICOM region. Notably, the summit's declaration emphasized disaster resilience, strengthening the international coordination for response to climate-related and natural disasters. Mr. Speaker, in those arrangements, I reiterated Jamaica's strong position. In those engagements, I reiterated Jamaica's strong position. We have already mobilized approximately $650 million. That's about 100 billion Jamaican dollars for immediate available resources via our pre-planned and pre-arranged disaster risk financing framework. At the same time, we have access to more than $500 million through the rapid financing facility of the IMF. But I emphasize that our multi-year reconstruction effort will require substantially more support than these amounts alone can deliver. As I said earlier, the loss is estimated at $8.8 billion. However, a portion of that would be private losses covered by insurance. It is estimated, therefore, that there should still be a gap, of approximately $5 billion, which the government would need to fund. Therefore, Mr. Speaker, additional resources would need to be accessed. So, just to summarize that point for the listening public, the damage assessed is 8.8. Insurance may cover 3.8 thereabout of it. There is still $5 billion, rounded figures, that would need to be funded. We have approximately 1 billion, thereabout, 1 billion that we can allocate towards the reconstruction. So we still need to find 4 billion. That's the window. And how do you get this? You have to, $4 billion US. You have to get out there in the international community. You have to bring your case to the world leaders. You have to ensure that the international capital markets see that you're not going to only rely on their resources, that you can also have even greater support from the international financial institutions. And that helps to make a stronger case. And that is what we have done. The G20 summit,
will pick up this
the G20 summit was a convenient place to meet all the leaders.
Yes, at the old place
in one event. We therefore formally requested the international community, including the IMF, the World Bank, bilateral development partners, climate finance platforms, and multilateral development banks, to assemble a reconstruction support package that scales with Jamaica's ambitions and needs. This includes concessional loans and grants earmarked for resilient infrastructure, sustainable agriculture, including poultry and dairy, citrus, and hydroponics, and for the automation of our agricultural sector, for debt service relief and restructuring options to protect our fiscal space and sustain growth, and technical assistance through technology transfer for agriculture and other industries that we're seeking to develop, and for the risk insurance and contingency financing instruments linked to climate change and natural disaster, an area which Jamaica is the prime example of how this is done and utilized.
Free.
This mission underscores several strategic imperatives for Jamaica, and by engaging proactively in the G20 and on the margins with major partner countries and institutions, Jamaica is asserting its voice in global economic governance, especially as a middle-income, small island developing state facing climate risks. Our emphasis on disaster resilience, sustainable agriculture, aligns neatly with Jamaica's stated vision of leveraging technology, AI, and automation within our agricultural sector, but not just within agriculture, within logistics, within manufacturing, in everything that we are doing. And so we are, Mr. Speaker, positioning Jamaica as the country that is embracing of technology and making ourselves not just the poster child of fiscal resilience, but the poster child of economic resilience in the face of a disaster. Our bilateral talks with Brazil, India, France, South Africa, and Nigeria signals Jamaica's intent to broaden its external partnership beyond traditional donors. And I want to say here, Mr. Speaker, that South-South cooperation is something that Jamaica is pursuing intentionally. I've had discussions.
Your friend America don't really like
my brother and friend from Rwanda, President Kagame, and he will be sending an advanced team to come and see how they can assist. I suspect that the result of that will be a corps of engineers that will come from Rwanda to assist with our reconstruction.
We have to listen how Andrew sell way out because me can't translate this a big sellout, yeah. Me can't even talk in a numbers, and no say me dunce. Dunce has to listen to the labor right them be. When we're talking a numbers, me dunce. So me can't explain how the Prime Minister selling for free to the G Humochi because Xi Jinping never go, Donald Trump never go. So we have to go call it G Humochi now.
The same thing will happen with Ghana. I had a very good talk with the president of Ethiopia. As I mentioned, the vice president of Nigeria. We are, Mr. Speaker, building close relations with Africa. Yes. Because that the PM was held in Africa is significant, very significant. It shows Africa emerging and Africa being very important to the future of the global economy.
Oh, you just realize that junk from.
But, Madam Speaker, we should note that from a foreign policy point of view, we have always maintained that it is best for Jamaica to always be at the table, to always have a voice. And just to be clear, Madam Speaker, not to be at some table or at a subset. We want to be at the main table, where the global decisions are made. And, Madam Speaker, it should be noted, it is sometimes, Mr. Speaker, it should.
We don't hear no Prime Minister talk. We no Prime Minister, we can't even deploy international aid.
Should be noted, it is sometimes underlooked and undervalued that this is the second time that Jamaica has been invited to the G20. Jamaica has been
Mr. Speaker, the member's time for speaking has expired.
National development priorities and climate resilience goal. Mr. Speaker, I wish to express gratitude to all the Jamaican delegation members and government officials who supported the work in South Africa. I also wish to thank the members of the diaspora who I got the opportunity to meet in South Africa. And let me also extend gratitude to all of our development partners and international institutions for their engagement. Most importantly, I wish to assure the House and the Jamaican people that this mission generated significant dividends, commitments, committed attention to the highest level of global governance to Jamaica's needs, specific bilateral affirmations of partnership, and tangible forward momentum on Jamaica's key strategic priorities. I now commend this statement to the House and look forward to a collective move forward to resilience, prosperity, and an inclusive Jamaica.
He still speaks the word prosperity, but the rough and tumble part will comes now. Hey, the nice part,
Prime Minister, thank you for the statement.
Nobody don't believe him. Nobody don't believe Andrew, but only listen to the question and answer part.
In relation to the 650 million that has already been mobilized from the...
Me can't translate them something at all. No. So I have to bear the pain of this morning. It won't worse than Melissa. So don't worse than Melissa. We survive Melissa. We can survive this morning.
Insurances and other sources. Could you give me a breakdown of that 650 million? I know CRIF is about 90, the CAT done about 150. What I'd like to know whether the balance of that money reflects insurances or whether those reflect any loans that we have taken from any other multilateral partners. I know the 500 million you refer to is an IMF drawdown, which comes from the Rapid Financing Facility. With the 1.15 that we have in hand, could you indicate how much of that we have spent in the recovery effort so far, and what are some of the immediate priorities? For example, we know many people have lost livelihoods in the tourism industry. We know SMEs have been decimated. What is the plan to provide immediate relief to those particular stakeholders where if you don't provide the relief now, the problem is going to be a bigger problem 6 months, 9 months, 12 months down the road? Secondly, and your colleague may be able to answer this better, are we receiving the full 150 million from the CAT bond, or are there any fees or charges related to it, which would maybe 10%? I don't know what the figure is, but are there monies deducted from that to give a net value to the Jamaican people? And then I take note of the plan, and I don't think anybody on this side would have any criticism of your trip to South Africa to lobby for funding. And I don't think anybody said that. But from the preliminary discussions that you would have had with your multilateral partners, have you any indication at this stage, accepting that you wouldn't have something firm, of commitments that would help to close that gap of approximately $4 billion? And then for the Minister of Finance, what would be your projection? You're not the minister, but we haven't gotten a statement from her. We know we're at about 62% GDP. We had to expect to get down to 60 before the end of the fiscal year. You're obviously going to have to borrow. What is your projection in the short term in terms of what you anticipate our debt to GDP will rise to in the short term, and then over time, what you think, what level we would be at? And finally, you had indicated a couple of weeks ago, we're going to relax the fiscal rules, which nobody would have an argument with. Have we begun or started that process, formally submitting the report to the Independent Fiscal Commission, etc., so that that process is underway, and we have formally made the overtures to the respective multilateral agencies in relation to seeking funding?
Go now,
Member
PM.
from St. Andrew Southeast. You mentioned in your presentation a new creature in our our fiscal landscape called the Fiscal Commissioner. And the Fiscal Commissioner examines all our statements and everything that the government puts forward for its credibility and whether or not it is so. And they will make pronouncements. So we on this side have enforced a particular discipline. And that is when it comes to speaking on some of these fiscal issues, we allow the Minister of Finance to speak first. The Minister of Finance will come to Parliament Tuesday next week with some of the things that you have just asked. For example, you have asked about whether or not we have started the process to change the fiscal rules. Yes, it has begun, and the Minister will come with the necessary legislative changes that are necessary. And that process of bringing our supplementary and having it reviewed by the Fiscal Commissioner, that is underway. So a supplementary will come next week. So I don't want to answer questions that ought rightfully to be presented by the Minister of Finance at that time. I would say to you, though, that you have asked questions regarding, you've asked a question regarding what we have gotten in terms of the catastrophe bond and these things. The catastrophe bond, I understand that it's a full payment, but there are usually some small fees and so attached. What that is, I couldn't say, I don't know now, but the Minister of Finance, I will have her undertake to present that when she presents next week. Our fiscal resilience plan starts with savings, which we put into our National Disaster Risk Fund, then contingencies, which we set aside from each budget, then insurance, for example, the CRIF, then our catastrophe bond, which we have gotten a full payout from, and from the CRIF, Minister, you remind me what we got from the CRIF? About 91 billion. And then we have access to prearranged financing, essentially prearranged debt that we can get at concessionary rates. And that would come from our partners, the IMF, the World Bank, and the IDB. From the IDB, there are some prearranged funds that can go up to as much as about 400 million. Thereabout. We will not be able to get all of it because some of it is reliant on some triggers being met. Those triggers have not been met in this disaster. The CAF, which is the Central American Development Bank, they have given us a grant, but they have said that they would be prepared to give us financing as well. So my visit to the G20 to meet with all of these leaders all in one place was to secure funding over and above what we have already secured through the various systems that I have mentioned,
know,
from
you hold it
savings
down for
to
free.
prearranged debt, because the extent of the damage surpasses what we had prearranged and what we have set aside in savings and contingencies and insurance. So we need to go to the international community, make our case, garner friends, get influence in these international financial entities to look at Jamaica's case specially, or give special consideration, so that we can
Tell them how you tell
get,
the people them how you tell
access
them so we
to
ripe
more
for
financing.
investment, no?
That's the essence of it.
Prearranged debt, yeah.
Just a
They
follow-up.
arrange it,
Could you
put them through
indicate
it.
how
We'll never
much
get
we
out
have
of it.
raised from the, I think it's the Support Jamaica website, in terms of funding, and whether we have been using those funds to deal with the ongoing responding to the emergencies, etc., and whether those funds are managed through the Ministry of Finance or an appropriate government agency, and whether the same rules that apply in terms of
Globalist, can you
procurement,
hit the like
etc.,
button for me,
for
please?
normal government-related funds apply to those that would be raised through the Support Jamaica website.
Come on, Globalist, and support the program, man. Hit the like button, you don't so bad. It's literally don't so bad.
Technically, all the funds raised should go into our National Disaster Risk Fund. Some of them go to ADPEM, and go to the account, to the ADPEM account. But all the funds are under the management and supervision of the regular fiscal and financial rules that pertain to any funding that the government of Jamaica has. The question is whether or not, so your question is, did they go into the central consolidated fund, or did they go into a special fund?
Me no know.
If they went into the consolidated fund, then they are at the disposal of the government. If they go into the disaster risk fund, then they can only be spent under certain conditions.
No,
and for
where did
certain
it
purposes.
go though?
And so any fund that is related to disasters goes into the disaster risk fund, unless either the donor or the person lending specifies that it can be for budgetary support, which
that's rather an advice than an answer, Prime Minister.
Now, the question that you're asking is, have we spent any of those funds on the relief effort? My understanding is that we have first utilized what we have in the contingency, meaning what we set aside in the budget, and
what
then
your
what we have
understanding is and what
the fund itself.
Are different.
So in other words, we are only spending so far Jamaica's money, because that's immediate and you know what it is. The others keep, it keeps coming. One day you hear it's X amount, then by tomorrow more comes in. So we'll soon know what the full picture is. I believe the ADPEM director at some point would have given, he would have given some updates. I don't have those figures with me.
PACC.
Yeah, but I will undertake,
whatever
that at the next time that I speak publicly, I will have the figures available as to exactly what has been raised from all the efforts. A global figure, I'll make those available. And just to be clear, Mr. Speaker, I know there's a lot of talk about government getting money and not using it, and we have to be so careful that these kinds of careless talk. Now, for the people, Mr. Speaker, I'm about to say something, and I just want to be clear.
Yeah, no.
For the people who are saying it,
for
the people who are saying it, and gaining influence on persons who don't understand, it is dangerous. Because there is a public that believes that somehow we sit here and we are trying to somehow take away money that has come for the relief of the people. Let me say this.
Jankro. Whoa, it's a thing, Bonnie. I will burn your PM. Because we make a thief in a Jankro, we not make a thief in a silence round here. We are ballot! Lord God Almighty! See hand pan the money there. And you don't want with it talk. Talk, PM. Talk.
Clearly, Mr. Speaker, it would be morally reprehensible for anyone to be using any government resources in any way that has been given or borrowed for relief.
Right. If you studied Andrew, particularly over the last 5 years, you would know when he is lying. He goes, Andrew Holness and Darrell Vaz goes into a tone of voice that the lies just jump out at you and say, I am literally lying to you. Right here, as you see me standing speaking, I am convincing myself to convince you to believe my lie. Listen to the Prime Minister. Hey,
or any other action to mitigate the damage of this hurricane for any personal or private gain. And if there is any such thing happening, I don't have to wait for any other entity to ferret it out or find it. I will find it myself. Let it be on the record, Mr. Speaker, that this is not the first disaster that this government has had to address. There was never a question about the administration of resources for Hurricane Beryl.
Ballot!
No donor said what I gave, I don't know how it was accounted for.
I mean, my answer,
Let it be clear that for the entire
answer,
administration of the pandemic, the COVID-19 pandemic, where the government of Jamaica executed the largest social protection program in the history of Jamaica. There wasn't even one question of misappropriation of funds.
Did I not tell you that there's a level of bullshit that I'm not able to translate for you? How could I translate these high level bullshit that the Prime Minister spoke in? But you go and talk here, PM, because you always put your foot in your mouth, you know. It be up in your mouth, your foot end up in there. Talk. You don't remember say you take charity money and buy stocks and bonds or hedge fund or what? Talk your Prime Minister. But they know say you're a plain old thief where try to beat we don't finna talk about the thief in below you for thief in a silent. You talk, yeah.
So I want to be clear, Mr. Speaker, that those persons who wish to tarnish myself, tarnish the government, you're tarnishing.
Your finger has done it. Your finger, Prime Minister, is what landed you in court this morning. Don't make a talk on your own. Yeah. Your finger is what landed you in court. Your finger is what tarnished you. John Crow, you want to control the blame pan we know when you couldn't keep control of your finger? We end you up under investigation for illicit enrichment, tax evasion, and in a court for election irregularity. Your finger, Andrew Holness. Your finger, not my mouth. Not my mouth. Don't come blame me for what me not do or what me not know about. When we talk about what we hear about.
Jamaica with a lie. I am not worried so much, Mr. Speaker, because wherever I travel and I meet with the international community, you know what they say? They say, you have done an amazing job. And I'm not joking, Mr. Speaker.
Answer me.
I don't have to say it about myself. The international officers who come here representing the international agencies, they go, and I don't ask them to, they go and say it publicly. Direct contradiction of the nonsense that some people are saying. So I know that it hasn't done any damage at that level. because they know, they see, they understand, they know the systems in place, and they know what would have happened in other countries. And they have confidence in the government. But some of them who are saying these things are people who know better, and they mislead. They mislead the people.
So the people that were upon the ground when I get the resources, the toilet and hand wash, the portable toilet and hand wash station and Gary and Coco and all them something that were gone and said, well, no, nobody not see. I lie, we tell. The same thing with them with Japan turn up and read out in a public. I lie, we tell. The same thing them with Spain turn up and read out in a public. I lie, we tell. The same thing them with sit there in a Darrell and everybody got airport go shake and land plane. I lie, we tell. The almost 100 plane will come in the country with resources. I lie, we tell. The Labour politician, them when you see a walk around with the resources and they make a political name for themselves and cement themselves politically, so them a give away and them a Mother Teresa sort. A lie, we tell. And your wholeness. Your mouth and your finger is your biggest problem. But you always try to switch the blame to somebody else. Look at your mouth and your finger, Prime Minister. Look at your mouth, your finger, and your conscience. And them the three same thing are your biggest problem in have nothing to do with we. Take your mouth, your conscience, and your finger. Those are your biggest problem.
So let me be clear in this parliament that this government will manage this disaster without any form of corruption, misdirection, maladministration, malfeasance, misfeasance. We are going to manage this disaster with the highest level of probity and integrity.
They're all big words that literally doesn't mean anything when it comes to your finger and your conscience. The man who became rich unexplained, to the fact where you're under investigation for illicit enrichment, badgering the court to take your side, stole an election because you want to leave the sacrifice that you carried out on the nation. And you go abroad, go sell with it free. And because to say we ask question, you come here have mental breakdown in a parliament, and you wholeness your teeth enough fun with you go hire private psychiatrist. Dr. Sophia Langmore, she's a labor, right? Dr. Nesbeth with the injection, the bullet, and the cartridge, and the spank shell. She's a labor, right? I don't know if she's qualified as a psychiatrist. There's Dr. Wendell Abel. There's so many people you can go to. Take your problem to the Lord in prayer, better yet. Better yet, take your problem to the Lord in prayer and your wholeness, because you break it down in front of us. Only resemble the boy bawling wolf. That's all it resembles, Prime Minister. The boy crying wolf. What else you see in front of you, sir?
And accountability. And it is necessary to do this, Mr. Speaker, because the scale of what we need in support from the international community can only be gotten if the international community feels that we have the institutional framework to ensure that whatever resources are made available are properly used. So one can only say that those people who are spreading those rumors are determined to bring down Jamaica. They do not support. So as I stand here, Mr. Speaker, my statement is also a warning to us.
I think what it was, Prime Minister. Lord God Almighty, Julian Robinson asks you a money question that you could not answer. You, though, took the opportunity to went on a tirade about nothing. Literally, not a thing. You big, overgrown idiot. It was a question, Prime Minister. A question. He didn't ask you, give us a quarry, Prime Minister.
Let's be clear. It is a warning to the government, but it is my duty also to dismiss and dispel the falsehood.
Whoa!
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I have really just one single question for the Prime Minister. Prime Minister, are you aware that your statement that the government will prepare and circulate to all partners the detailed Jamaica Reconstruction and Resilience Program document, including costings, phasing, governance structure, environmental and social safeguards, and all of that detail will ring hollow if you do not ensure that there is indeed a coordinated and joined up approach to what it's doing? Or persons will begin to ask, as they have started asking, why is it this early relief program has been so chaotic, disjointed, and partisan in how it has been carried out?
Listen, I know.
Mr. Speaker,
listen, I know.
What we have seen here, and the question asked, is a classic case of bringing the false notion onto a public platform. I can say here, Mr. Speaker, I can say here, and the member from Southwest, I call her my neighbor and my sister. And I try not to be harsh. I try not to be harsh. But she's saying that she can manage it. Mr. Speaker, the member from St. Andrews Southwest is not an expert in disaster recovery. The experts in disaster recovery have spoken, and they have...
Neither are you, John Crow, because the United Nations and the whole of the thing them with the U and a W, them not belong to nobody but the American. This is why I refer to them as the American international organizations, whether it be the World Bank, the IMF, the WHO, the WTO, the United Nations, UNICEF, whatever the U or the W, they are America. Because to say the United Nations and the Americans creating storm and tornado, hurricane and missile and tidal wave and liquid down for no bill on no city, and then send a little nasty girl there from the World Bank to come tell we fuckery down at Jamaica, like literally fuckery. You think it's something that we buy? You think it's something that we buy when we know say the United Nations and the World Bank are right all of them speeches send down Congo when we gonna look like damn fool in front of we? Idiot.
Spoken publicly on Jamaican media, on Jamaican radio. They have written documents and they have said quite the opposite. In fact, they have commended Jamaica as a small island developing state for its response. The persons who peddle this falsehood, Mr. Speaker, seem to conveniently ignore that Hurricane Melissa was one of the strongest hurricanes to have hit Jamaica, not just in the Atlantic, but globally. It is in the top 3 strongest hurricanes.
Here the confusion. It was the strongest hurricane to hit Jamaica, not just in the Atlantic, but globally. Where are we positioned, Prime Minister? Where are we positioned? Because it looks like everywhere they move Jamaica, put it, hurry, Melissa hit. I don't know. I want to sound a doctor this and there, that I have all of this and that on the bright.
No other hurricane has
has
done the level of damage to Jamaica in its...
No other government. So No other government, you understand how Andrew speak? No other government has done what this government has done. No other hurricane has done what Melissa has. Go on here, PM. Overgrown fool.
Recorded district than this one. None. Within hours after Hurricane Melissa, I picked up the phone and I
When you listen to the breakdown, Good morning and welcome to the breakdown.
called the chief, the acting chief of defense staff, the head of the NWA, the minister responsible for works, and I said to them, get the airport open. They were out there in the night checking the road to make sure, checking with the necessary authorities to make sure that planes could land. The following day, we were able to open the airport.
Sharon Peart, you notice it to say something about him. San Julian Ark, I can't share the live, because don't. The way how I want to rub you this morning, Prime Minister, don't have the time I have appointment. But I don't come back on you tonight because you reveal a whole heap in front of you this yesterday. All heap something bun you. Van Julian asks you the question, you're getting a rage and temper. You continue here, embarrass yourself.
Mr. Speaker, in a few days, hold on, in a few days, we were able to open the Sangster International Airport. In 72 hours, precisely. Now, let me be clear on this, Mr. Speaker. Let me be clear. Roads were blocked. Communities cut off. I don't like to talk about what the equipment capability of the JDF is. Well, we don't have enough helicopters. We just don't.
And you tell me how much you invest in them and the investment appear.
Additional airlift from our American friends, and I want to thank them for making the airlift available. 3 days. When I landed in Black River the day after, I sent a team by ground. That team could not pass through Holland Bamboo to get to me. When I called to say where they were still with machetes trying to cut their way through. JDF was there with them trying to cut their way through. Never forget it, a lady said she walked 20 miles. I saw her coming in to Black River.
Oh, poor thing. The PM staff had to chop their way to Black River. Oh.
And she said a neighbor of hers was out in the storm and a wall fell on him and he died. And we asked JDF, as soon as you're able to mobilize, go and find this body. I mean, I would say we had about 5 operational helicopters. Now, you think about having just 5 helicopters 3 days after. How are you going to distribute that to deal with all the problems? The people who...
Your Chinese counterpart in the building industry have a lot of private helicopters in Jamaica, and there are a lot of your other friends who have private helicopter which you could have marshaled in a disaster, you fool.
Peddle that are unreasonable, and they are lying. And they don't mean Jamaica anything. Now, Mr. Speaker, I am the first one to say that in the immediate response, there was a scramble. We don't deny that because we have never had this before. Institutions, funny enough, Mr. Speaker, the members from Westmoreland made a very strong case that the disaster is...
Begging a pardon, but I have to just say it the real way. Me telling you all the while, said this like a pussy, a bully, You saw when the Prime Minister was at the G Humochi because Xi Jinping and Donald Trump wasn't there, so it's G, whatever you want to call it. The Prime Minister was so humble and submissive. And the Prime Minister come back in front of we. A bully, we are not going like a market vendor.
response was slow and ineffective. And you know, I reflected on it. I did, because every criticism, I take it and I look at it, because if I am wrong, I'm the first to admit. In the same way that when I looked at the response, I said in the first 3 days, we were all just trying to run around and trying to get things done. And you know why, Mr. Speaker? Because the member will tell you that the
Prime Minister, the truth is to know the operation is still moving around like a headless chicken. So we really don't see any improvement. You admit so now they are run around like headless chicken in the first 3 days. But it's the same, Prime Minister. We don't see any difference. We don't see any improvement.
The disaster manager for the parish fell ill, had a stroke, and that key person in the coordination of the response was not available. But I wouldn't only use that as a response, as a excuse. There were persons who lost their roofs, who were cut off, had no telecommunications, we couldn't find them.
Just like how you couldn't find data and
say that our response was slow, it's not just a lie, it's unfair. Let's make another point, Mr. Speaker. The Jamaica Defense Force stood up an operation, and we had to make strategic decisions about how we're going to use our resources. Strategic decision number one. If there are people who want to come to Jamaica, who have the experience, who have the equipment, and who have the know-how to do this thing, let them go quickly into the areas. So I see people saying, I don't see nobody from the government. The only person I see is from the Lacovia police station. How you think the aid got there? You think they just swam into Jamaica? The government opened the airport. The government cleaned the road. The government escorted them. Don't talk nonsense.
So, all right. I just don't know what would I want me to translate and analyze for without Uno be able to see the fuckery that I would be trying to explain to Uno. I just don't know what I want me break down and analyze how me would translate all them, you know. Jesus,
to ensure that all the people who you see out there who want to give aid to Jamaica, that they are able to do it. You think they come here without ensuring that there are security guarantees? Who you think gives them the security guarantees? You think the stock that they have just move automatically?
Whoa! Jesus, in the morning when I really don't have time because my appointment coming up. Prime Minister, who give them guarantee to go into Haiti? What, the gangs? The gangs who make sure distribution of the resources was adequately and fairly done? Prime Minister? Lord Jesus. A country run by gangsters has been run better than a democracy.
Just materialize where they are. How many convoys you see moving with the security forces carrying them through? Don't talk nonsense about there was no government presence. I want to give commendation to the police. The JCF needs special recognition in this disaster because with roofs blown off, no electricity, they stood up. When I went to Black River, the police station was destroyed, nothing. They didn't have any electricity. One of my first order of business was to secure generators. I gave 4 generators to police stations. I don't go out and make this public because that's not my role or my job, but I did it just to make sure that there was a center of response. Yes. When we went into communities, we realized that all businesses were destroyed. And right now, we have stood up a program where we are supporting businesses re-emerging. The member from Eastern Westmoreland would know that we're going to help White House, that we have in White House both the Ministry of Investment and Commerce and the Factories Corporation. Their target, their response is to stand up businesses in those communities. No, man, they talk to you. Factories told me they talk to you. Factories told me they talk to you. Yeah.
Mind your blood pressure, PM. PM, mind your blood pressure.
Yes. I'm sure he will speak to you later. But I just want to point out that Black River, I tasked UDC to help to clean up Black River, and there's a plan to clean up Black River. UDC will do it. And all of this is within effectively days. Now, bear in mind, Mr. Speaker, we're doing relief because what people see as managing the hurricane is carrying a bag of food from point A to point B. And everybody is out there giving out food and taking pictures.
On the day that the Prime Minister came to the Parliament and really gave the nation a walloping, the nation yesterday got a bit of the Prime Minister rolled his tongue at the nation. I mean, that we have time for you this morning, Prime Minister. But remember, there's a night call tonight.
That's fine, that's great. We thank you. We want to continue to do that. What that does is to relieve the government of that task. But even so, the JDF, Mr. Speaker, is still packaging, has the capability to package 10,000 packages and send them out. And that's what they do constantly.
No, man. Somebody could have run out and hold back the PM still. They never have to make the PM come at with so hard. Like, seriously, PM? Somebody could have hold you back. A week on a week, so? Are afraid of the PM that when they turn up the army, the PM charge after with so. And no hold him back on the wicked.
They have a list of communities along with the Ministry of Labor and Social Security where every day they are out there giving. Nobody's out there taking pictures with them and saying how great they are doing. But let's think about it. 900,000 people affected. About 40,000 houses flattened.
Black River Hospital, the Prime Minister saying give how much a generator or whatever, but he not talk about it. Sharon Walton says Black River Station was never without a generator. Sharon would know best, Prime Minister. Sharon Walton, Prime Minister, would know better than Andrew Holness what isn't or what is at Black River Police Station. Isn't it, PM? Boy, this man is terrible. I wonder why Minto was able to be communicating to and posting on Facebook and Instagram to the whole storm, Prime Minister. I wonder why. Wicked man.
Just multiply that by 3. Let's say 150,000 persons have been impacted. You believe that, one organization here delivering package and one day is going to solve that problem? How long they're going to do it for? What will have to be stood up to be able to carry the school for months? So we have to be strategic. Build out the hubs, which we have done. Then we build out substations, which we have done. And that logistics hub, which move food through to stations and then to substations, that same logistics hub is going to move building materials to hubs and then into people. In the weeks to come, you're going to see the JDF transition from delivering packages. They will still have a presence, but they're going to transition now to help in the rebuilding of the houses for those people who are most in need. When this is studied.
Say, no, answer Angela Brownberg question, Andrew Holness. Me forgot most of it, but a part of it was politicization of the galang. You don't say, no. You don't answer Angela. All they see you turn up a chase with them a draft your jaws and a show with how spotted your draws is, Prime Minister. You know, say, no. You have not made an attempt to answer Angela Brownberg at all. When will the Prime Minister done the quarrel and make me get to go on about my business?
As it will be studied. When the history book is written, our response compared to others. And you can say compared to Katrina,
no,
compared to
man,
Irma,
terrible.
compared to others. Jamaica has done better than most. And I think it is unfair and unfortunate that there are those who would try to tear down.
Even Angela Brownberg at this stage would have forgotten what was the question again.
Jamaica. When the history is written, we will know who are the ones who tore down Jamaica and who are the ones who are reconstructing Jamaica. Finally, Mr. Speaker, we have a very clear strategy to manage the disaster. Minimize human suffering. There's a lot of human suffering going on. I witnessed it.
All of the things them we attack from where they were boil up in him, you know. He come to Parliament yesterday and Angela and Julian go poke him and he say, you know what? I'm going to vomit the fuck up this evening. Go and vomit your PM, get it off your chest.
Personally, and you were on the front lines and you saw it, I saw the impact it had on you. And we cannot deny that there are people who are suffering, who are exposed to the elements.
I find it funny.
That is the case, and we are working as best as possible to do it. You have to figure, are you going to do a general strategy that moves everyone, or are you going to be responding to everyone that is crying out, and you look like you're disorganized?
Jumping and
build a strategy, and that strategy is working, which is to have the JDF marshal the humanitarian response in support and in parallel with our entertainers, our churches, and the general citizens who want to help. That's a very important part of managing the humanitarian issues. While that is going on, let us manage recovery. Now, recovery is let us get our electricity back up, let us get our...
All right, my thoughts are not enough. Tonight, we deal with the recovery part. We're not done yet. We don't done yet, but when it's been tortured enough, me have appointment to go to. Boy, oh boy. Yeah. Why wanna make Andrew Holness get on a worked up? I find this very funny. Believe you me, Andrew is becoming my Donald Trump with a rough edge to it. Because when Donald Trump talk the bullshit them, I get a lot of fun out of it. Andrew Holness is becoming like that, particularly when he's speaking to a Jamaican audience. Now, whichever audience Trump has speak to, you'll get a flat rate bullshit. Whichever audience Trump has speak to, there is a flat rate bullshit for his audience. But when Andrew's speaking to the Jamaica audience, the bullshit like really turns up to the point where it is so theater that you can get fun out of it, even though don't get too worked up by this idiot. Melissa can raise my blood pressure, certainly not Andrew Holness. You know, I've seen many of Andrew Holness type politically. Andrew Holness is not the first political thief. He's just the worst of the ones we've ever experienced. But Prime Minister, me and you tonight, because we're not done yet, you know. The Prime Minister with the container village. The Prime Minister will build the trailer park and come to Parliament and dress it up. No, I call it modular housing. Jamaica people, the Prime Minister have resold us for free. Those of you who've bought property, you would know what remortgaging your property is. And you would know that once you have a mortgage, you hold the property, but the bank or the financial institution owns the property. You have been resold or remortgaged for free, owned by the multinational corporations who the Prime Minister told all fruits ripe. Shake the grape tree. Jamaica and the Caribbean, he says, is ripe for investment. We can only roll the ungodliness of Andrew Holness back by uniting. Barring that, we must go cap in hand for the disaster the Prime Minister has prepared for us. In the words of Marcus Garvey, unite or perish. Thank you very much for being here with us this morning on Global TV. Come back this evening because we're going to call out the payment in bullshit because the bullshit not done yet, you know. It's not done. But I couldn't translate this phone. No? How could I? I mean, the Prime Minister forgets the question Angela Brownberg asks. Angela Brownberg forget the question she even asks the Prime Minister. The Prime Minister, though, took the opportunity to give the nation a full length of his double tongue. Thank you. Good morning and good afternoon.
Ghetto, run, keep going on, less process. For children of Israel do really love rights. So just a fly and I say watch a man around Babylonian walls. Oh, children of Israel, I she never hold thy peace. What wrong is going on? Hey, oh, we gonna bust down Babylon walls. Prepare and read the way. Prepare and read the way for jumping. Let's go. Fight down, war and crime. Fight down, me say Rastafari. War and crime and do that righteousness. And we love Jah. And we love Jah. And we love Jah. Jah Rastafari. Yeah, we love Jah. We love Jah. Jah Rastafari. We love Jah. Jah Rastafari. Preserve all people. Put time away. Put time away again. Listen. Yeah. So just as I and I say watch a man around Babylonian walls. Oh, children of Israel, I should never hold thy peace while we penalize. Hey, oh, night. We gonna bust down Babylon gates. Prepare and read the way. Prepare and read the way for Jah Rastafari. Fight down, war and crime. Rastafari, war and crime, and build up righteousness. And we love Jah, and we love Jah, and we love Jah, Rastafari, preserve all. And we love Jah, me love Jah, me love Jah, Rastafari, preserve all. Me love Jah. Yeah, the next song is going to be the last song for tonight.
If you don't like missing out on the latest shows but still enjoy classic hits, then Global TV Group 358 is your perfect match. Global TV Group 358 isn't just another channel, it's your ultimate TV experience. From breaking news to binge-worthy dramas and timeless classics, we've got it all. Our unique blend of original content and global favorites means there's something for everyone. And guess what? With GTVG's seamless streaming, you can watch anywhere, anytime. Plus, our interactive features let you be part of the action. So, whether you're a seasoned binge watcher or a casual viewer, Global TV Group 358 is here to keep you entertained day and night. Don't just watch TV, experience it with Global TV Group 358. Subscribe now and never miss a moment.